So this is a bit of a weird follow-up to a video we did earlier today about how Donald Trump is desperate to save the ass of his shadow president, Elon Musk, after Musk's polling, net worth, and Tesla stocks have plummeted. And it resulted in a strange scene in which Musk presented a bunch of Teslas to Trump at the White House, and then several strange comments were made, not just by Trump, but also by Musk in back and forth with the reporters. But before we unpack all that, if you end up liking this video and you want to support the channel, please be sure to hit the like, subscribe, and alert bells before you go. All right, friends, yeah, again, a strange follow-up. I want to start with this clip, too, because this might be the weirdest one, in which Trump is asked about the state of the stock market, which has been in flux as a consequence of his rhetoric and his actions, his on-again, off-again situation with the tariffs and the impending signs of an impending recession and all these things. But Trump makes a really strange comment here about how the economy is fake.
So, Mr. President, when you look at the market selling off, that didn't concern you?
Nope, it doesn't concern me. I think some people are going to make great deals by buying stocks and bonds and all the things they're buying. I think we're going to have an economy that's a real economy, not a fake economy. It's a fake economy. Too old.
What the hell do you mean it was a fake economy? We have a real economy as opposed to a fake economy. It's a fake. What does that even mean? What does that mean? See, remember, Trump popularized the expression fake news, right? Fake news is a phrase associated with Trump and MAGA as a way of delegitimizing the news or journalists or critical reporters or just really anything that Trump and MAGA don't like. It's fake news. It's fake news. If you say something that may be true, but it's inconvenient for me, fake news, right? And now the economy in its current state is inconvenient for Trump, given that the stock market is struggling. Gas and grocery prices have been pretty high. We've seen Trump inflation skyrocket, again, signs of an impending Trump recession, all of which may change. But right now, the trajectory and the signs are pretty bad for Trump politically. And so rather than address that, he's just saying it's fake. That's a fake economy, and we're going to have a real economy. What does that mean? And what's it mean in terms of policy? So, folks, I just want you to imagine, please imagine President Biden saying something like that. How would the media respond? How would Democrats respond? How would certainly Republicans and Trump respond? He just says shit incoherently, just says words, gets from one syllable to the next. That's how he plans these things. He doesn't think that far ahead. Maybe I should try to make a coherent point. Maybe I should, actually advocate for a meaningful, a robust, a successful policy. No, I'm just going to let noises leave my mouth hole and go stumble from one syllable to the next. That's just apparently how he answers these things. So we got some other clips to play, but again, I just really want to focus on that one. Apparently the economy is fake, and we're going to have a real one. So take heart, people who are struggling under Trump. Now, here's another clip.
And what is your message, President Trump? Buying a new car, while there are some folks who will see this clip at home and they are struggling with their retirement accounts down at the moment, uncertainty about work ahead.
Well, I think they're going to do great. I think our country had to do this. We had to go and do this. They've taken away, other countries have taken away our business. They've taken away our jobs. I did it initially very strongly against, as you know, China and some others in the first term. And it was a very successful term. We had no inflation. We had the greatest economy in the history of our country. And then we had COVID, which we had to straighten out. So I didn't want to be doing anything with respect to other countries at that time. And we did a great job with it. We handed the stock market over. It was higher than it ever was. And think of that, higher than it ever was to that point before. And nobody thought that was even possible. We did a great job. But we had the greatest economy in history. This economy, in my opinion, is going to blow it away. But what I have to do is I have to get the workers back. I have to get the factories open. We have 90,000 factories and plants are closed from what you had just prior to NAFTA, which is not very long ago. 90,000. Think of it. 90,000 factories.
So the problem is, actually, there's several problems. Number one, he didn't handle COVID well. 500,000 Americans died on his watch as a consequence of not taking COVID seriously. As a matter of fact, his own former medical advisor, Dr. Deborah Birx, came out and said that everything after the first 100,000 deaths, in her estimation, could have been prevented had Trump taken coronavirus more seriously, but he downplayed it. He denied it. He pretended it was a hoax. He refused to use his bully pulpit to rally Republican lawmakers and governors and Republican voters and constituents in red states to take it seriously. And the economy also struggled as a consequence. That was all his fault. Again, notice how he picks and chooses when the stock market matters. Oh, the stock market did really, really well, when we left office. Okay, so the stock market does matter. Well, no, not when it's inconvenient for me. Then, of course, you can't look at the stock market. It's a fake stock market. Oh, okay. And the agreements that you're talking about, you signed into law. The NAFTA 2.0, the NAFTA replacement was the U.S., Mexico, Canada agreement, the USMCA, and Trump was the one who created the deal. He signed the deal. That was his deal. And now he's saying that it screwed everybody over. He's constantly complaining about it. Well, that was your deal. So if what you're saying is true now, then that's your fault because you created the deal that's screwing everybody, or particularly the United States, over. And again, I mean, what's interesting is the person who asked that question was Fox News' own Peter Doocy. It was actually an interesting question. Here you are, basically doing a virtue signal with really expensive electric cars, and there are people who are struggling in your economy. And again, Trump has nothing but lies and platitudes to offer in response, which is just typical Trump. Here's another clip in which Donald Trump can't help but talk about Joe Biden and be reminded of Joe Biden, and then Elon Musk actually has to explain how a car works to Donald Trump.
Oh, that's beautiful. Wow. That's beautiful. This is a different panel than I've had. Everything's computer. That's beautiful. Wow.
Yeah, it's just a brake and an accelerator.
I don't want to.
You'll give Secret Service a heart attack.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Can you start it?
Should I?
Yeah. Oh, it's. So, do you want to actually drive it?
You don't want me to drive it, do you?
I saw Biden do a.
I'll tell you, it could be.
once in the Jeep.
Yeah,
It's very easy to drive.
that's. You're the only one that saw it.
So it's like driving a golf cart, basically.
Very simple.
It's very simple. So it's literally like the golf.
It's like driving a golf cart. It's literally like driving a golf cart, I see. And of course, again, there was a comment made about President Biden, and there was another one, actually. Donald Trump can't help but think about Joe Biden rather than the American people. So here's one last clip.
Let me get in this
You want one of
second.
these? On the Tesla?
Do you want my notes?
Yeah.
They gave me notes. I said, I'm not Biden. I don't need notes.
Yeah.
Let me get in.
So yeah. So again, kind of an interesting tableau every which way. Of course, MAGA will love it. I'll also point out, worth noting, even though obviously MAGA doesn't care, is Elon Musk, his polling is in the toilet. His net worth was just cut down by like $100 billion. And Tesla's stock has basically depreciated like 50% since the beginning of the year. I mean, it's just down 50%. And Elon Musk is also Donald Trump's biggest donor by far. Between $250, $300 million contributed in about 3 or 4 month spread to get Trump elected. He's basically the co-president. And Donald Trump is doing this, as he said in the video that we covered earlier today, to try to help Elon Musk out. This is an attempt to bolster Musk's, really everything is just profile period, to help out Musk's Tesla stock, to help out Musk's personal reputation, perhaps his net worth, his polling. And it's just yet another blatant, unprecedented act of corruption that unfortunately so many of us, not just conservatives, but even liberals who are just exhausted and progressives and people just not paying attention, will sweep this under the rug. But the truth is, if Joe Biden were here and Elon Musk had been, again, Mark Cuban or George Soros or a liberal donor, the corrupt optics of it would be all over the place. But because it's Donald Trump, we grade him on a curve, and he exploits that to his advantage. So anyway, in the meantime, let me know what you think in the comments.